Oh, hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Jorjeana Marie. I'm not British at all. I was born in North Carolina, and I grew up in Pennsylvania. I'll be totally honest, I came out for the weather. I lived in New York City for 10 years, so it was very cold. And then I came out here, and I was like, oh, this is better.
Uh-huh. What did you do in New York?
I started doing comedy there.
Okay.
I guess cut my teeth in the clubs there. I did a lot of shows and produced. And I lived in Alphabet City on 7th between B and C. And the guy who was at the door, who would open the door, sold heroin. That's why he was at the door. But my mom came to visit me and she was like, oh, Jorjeana, I'm so proud of you. You have a doorman. He's a heroin dealer, Mom. A what? I had a lot of fun. I saw a lot of Broadway shows. No, I saw Proof. I saw Carol Burnett in a show, something about Buffalo. Buffalo, Carol Burnett, Buffalo. Google it, Google it. The Beauty and the Beast, just a ton of stuff.
Did you perform in?
Smokey Joe's Cafe. I did an off-Broadway show, and then I did a ton of off Broadway.
So what's the worst off Broadway show you did?
The worst was here, actually. I like ridiculous things, so I just like to get up and be silly, but I still want to communicate. I still want to say something. I want people to forget about things for a moment and just laugh at the silly. And I also sometimes want to draw attention to certain socio-political, educational. I started doing stand-up because I was a waitress in the Village in New York City, and my tables kept telling me that I should, and so I said okay. That's really it. Like, actually I got a spot at Stand Up New York. They just gave me a spot and I did my first night and it went incredibly well. I wrote with a guy. I was fortunate enough to have found a very funny copywriter for commercials. So my first jokes were actually funny and I used them for years and years and years. So the first night went smashingly well. And second night as well, and that's what I wanted to know. When do I get paid? And then the third night was like, so embarrassed.
Why do you decide to keep getting up after you take these hits? What makes you decide to keep going?
They start to go away. Because I think if I was still like I think you get to a certain point, you're not particularly bombing anymore because you're still communicating. You maybe aren't getting as many laughs in the appropriate places, but you know what you're doing, so you're like, I just want to get up and say some stuff. But that's what comedy is about. It's about taking hits, but in the end, it's one of those art forms that does require you some resilience. You just get back up. And I think what helps is, I don't care if I get a laugh all the time. I care if I communicate throughout that time period of 10 minutes or an hour or whatever it is, and a lot of laughs in there and a good relationship created and fun, like that people feel like they can relax a little bit. But part of what makes getting up the next time is recognizing, well, maybe I didn't prepare as well as I should have, but you also remember those shows where you absolutely killed. And no one can ever take away from you the times where you had the entire room going. And you know that if you can do that once, you can do it all the time. It just takes practice. You just need to keep doing it. It's like any other art form.